What's going on, everyone? Tech Me Out here, and Apple's keynote is right around the corner. So of course, we got to get that rumor roundup going and start talking about some of these things that are currently circulating the internet in terms of what we can expect on this fateful day. So this year, we are expecting a lot of new releases from Apple at their keynote. We got 5 new products total, 3 phones, 1 Apple Watch, and 1 iPad. That's a lot. Possibly less or possibly more could be revealed, but ultimately take this with a grain of salt because at the end of the day, these are rumors, but hopefully a lot of them check out to be true because it's looking good. But invitations have been sent out and people are even speculating like what the circle means on the invitation. And I don't know personally, but I'm curious to know about your speculation. So drop down below in the comment section what you feel that circle could mean. And I'll pin the one that I like the most to the top of the comment section. Something else that's circulating the internet a lot is this picture regarding what the new phones are rumored to look like with this beautiful wallpaper that just instantly pulls your attention. Like at first when you look at it, you don't even realize that it's 2 phones. It just looks good, but then you notice the phones and the wallpaper. And I think they chose a great wallpaper to accent this because you don't see the notch and it just allows you to really appreciate the display, the design, and the wallpaper. So one device on the lineup that might be revealed is the iPhone XS. Now, although the design of this might be very similar to that of the iPhone X, you know, the differentiating factor that we can possibly expect is the S badge on the back of the device. Also, just like they did with the, I think the iPhone 8 lineup where, you know, they had a certain color to differentiate one from the other, you can possibly expect that as well here, as it's rumored to be that a new copper gold color is going to be coming out, which is kind of alluded to in these, you know, leaked images that we talked about a few seconds ago. You can see the gold copper color coming through on the side of the phone there. It seems like it'll look good and definitely be probably a welcome change, as I think, especially nowadays, things that we're appreciating are bigger batteries, thinner bezels, and new color options for our phone. Now, the other phone that's speculated to drop is the iPhone XS Max. It was at first rumored that it might be the iPhone X Plus, which I personally like the name of better. I really hope that this is not the case because I feel like it's gonna confuse things with the name lineup. Like we wanna keep things simplified, you know? Now this one could also have its own special color. In addition to the new color, it's also gonna have a new size on the iPhone display that we haven't seen before, which is 6.5 inches, which is even larger than the Galaxy Note 9. But for comparison's sake, it still should have the same footprint as the iPhone 8 Plus. I think I'm gonna like this because although I like the display on the iPhone X, surprisingly, I miss the size of my iPhone 8 Plus. I don't know what it is about. You would think that I would want something the size of an iPhone X, but like when I hold an iPhone 8 Plus, I'm like, oh. I don't know, I guess I feel like I have more screen real estate, and to have the screen of an iPhone X on the body of an iPhone 8 Plus, it just seems like the perfect match for me. Like, productivity on a whole nother level. But ultimately, this will be the biggest iPhone ever released, and it seems like they just keep getting bigger each year. The bottom line here is that these 2 phones might be very similar, but they will differ more specifically with their camera and also with their battery, because of course, bigger device, you're gonna have the bigger battery, and typically with the bigger device, you also have the better camera. Now, of course, the bigger model may also have its, you know, set of exclusive features that the smaller one doesn't have, but ultimately, I think we can kind of expect that type of setup. Now, powering this device, we can possibly expect an A12 chip, which of course, ultimately just means faster, better. You get it. But something else that's new here is the fact that it might have a dual SIM tray in select markets. And that's gonna be interesting because then for those that are able to get it, if it is true, then you can have 2 phone lines on one device. So yeah, if you're about that life, you're good. Now the third phone is gonna be like the cheaper model. It's kind of like, I guess, the iPhone 5C when it came out, back in the day. You know, where you get a cheaper phone amongst the 2 heavy hitters, as this one's gonna possibly have more color variations. But unlike the 5C where the colors are like really kind of like vibrant and somewhat felt like kiddish, the iPhone 9 instead might have matte-like colors, which although a small detail definitely plays factor in terms of how the device comes across when you're looking at these color options. But the thing that I am most excited about, that I'm hoping is true, is the Apple Watch 4. I just bought the Series 3 It's okay, because the Apple Watch 4 is the type of upgrade that I think we all have been wanting and looking for on the Apple Watch lineup. Because for one, it's going to have an edge-to-edge display. Like, the renders of what this could possibly look like are like drool worthy. But on the other side of this, it kind of also looks a little busy, because it's possible that we might, with this particular type of watch face, be able to have 9 complications. 9. That's a lot. But as you can see, it's going to maintain that, you know, kind of squarish appeal to it, but just utilize more of the display. We also may see a change in the crown of the Series 4 cellular model, as it's not going to be a solid red circle, but possibly instead a little red line going around the inside of the circle. And then also this go around, the Series 4 Apple Watches should match the color selection of the iPhones. Maybe not, you know, the possible new colors, but like the typical space gray, gold, and silver that we generally see. The heart rate monitor could also be a little bit more flushed with the watch. And for those of you that are concerned that you might have to buy new Apple Watch bands, fingers crossed, from what it looks like, they will fit the new Series 4, so you should be able to use your pre-existing watch bands with the new Apple Watch. And lastly, the iPad Pro. We might see a refresh on this as well, with 2 new models that might measure in at 11 and 12.9 inches. We can also expect the removal of the home button, thinner bezels, but no chin. And it seems that we may even have a squarish design to it, much like we saw on the first generation iPads way back. That design element might find its way on the new iPad Pro models. The smart connector has also been relocated to the bottom instead of the side, which is different and kind of makes me wonder how accessories will adapt to this. And then there's also a switch on the side that I don't know what it controls. It makes me feel like maybe it might be something like we see on the OnePlus 6, where you can have that switch on the side to control, in reference to being in like do not disturb mode, or if you want it to ring or vibrate only, that kind of thing. That would be my speculation. And with the removal of the home button, we should see Face ID up here as the way to gain entry into your iPad. But concerns have been raised though that you might only be able to lock your iPad when you're in portrait mode and not landscape mode, which I hope is false because that doesn't make much sense. I know, especially with my iPad, I'm in landscape mode just as much as I'm in portrait mode. That might bother me. But ultimately, that's what we can expect on September 12th in terms of some of the things they're gonna release. We may even see the wireless charging pad and some new AirPods. I don't know. I think we've been waiting quite some time for these things. Out of these things that we've talked about though, let me know down below in the comments section, what item has you most excited based upon the rumors? I'm a bit concerned though about the names. Hopefully Apple keeps things unified and simple and doesn't overly complicate it by introducing new terms to the phone. Either way, I'm gonna be tuning into the keynote and giving you my roundup of facts afterwards instead of rumors. So be sure to hit the subscribe button. Somewhere up in here is going to be my face, so you can go ahead and do so. That way you'll be one of the first notified when that video drops. And thumbs up the video if you liked it. As always though, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.